How's it going, everyone? Gotta talk more about the PlayStation cancellations, as if you're a PlayStation fan, this is going to be one of the biggest stories that is going to have ripple effects for years and years to come, and really should be a statement on the entire industry as far as chasing the bag with live service games. Y'all already know, I've been talking about this for years and years, where I was of the mindset that I don't think this is gonna turn out well, but I've been wrong about things in the past, and it's a wait-and-see kind of approach, and you have to at least let the games come out, see how development turns out. But I totally get why they were chasing the live service bag, and I talked about it with Marvel Rivals. You see the numbers this game is pulling, and it's easy to understand that why a executive would be like, let's just throw a bunch of crap at the wall, screw the single-player first-party games that we are known for, let's pour all of our resources into these live service games. We gotta get a couple of W's, right? Well, wrong. You got Helldivers 2 as a W, and now you got a bunch of cancellations, and you got Concord. Congrats on that one, and Concord's a game that I've been crapping all over for 18 months now. Going back to June of 2023, you can pull up that video. I crapped all over the Sony PlayStation showcase in 2023, and the Concord Burger trailer, it was one of the most appalling trailers that I've seen in my life. And now, let's go over what Jeff Grubb has said about the latest cancellations of live service games. He is noting that it is because of Concord. This happened because of Concord. Like, this should be clear. That's what I've been told. Sony has been shell-shocked from Concord, and now they're going around to every studio, and they're reassessing every single project. And if it's a live service project, it has a lot of friction going against it, preventing it from getting a chance to actually come out. He also mentioned that as far as Sony Bend and Bluepoint goes, those were their main projects. So as I feared in yesterday's video, those were the main projects those studios were doing. If you are one of those people that for years and years on my videos and several other people's videos, and petitions were made that if you wanted a Days Gone 2, y'all stand up right now and be absolutely sick to your stomach, because Ben's studio, they were tasked to do a live service project. Chances are $100 million. Days Gone came out in 2019, you guys. It's been 6 years since that game has come out. It's probably been in development, this live service project, for at least 5 years, maybe longer than that. I would be sick to your stomach if you were out here talking about Days Gone 2 on social media, signing petitions for Days Gone 2. What was this studio doing? Screw all of y'all that wanted a Days Gone 2. 8 million copies sold or whatever. That is not enough. That Metacritic score in the mid-70s, that was not enough for them. We can't be having that. Days Gone 2, that ain't gonna be happening. All the petitions, all the comments, all of that, throw it in the trash. Live service, baby, that's where we're going, and that live service game has been canceled. Look, I'm not even the craziest fan of Days Gone 1, but almost by, you know, just osmosis of being around people that have wanted Days Gone 2 for so long, I am sick to my stomach. That, like, revolting. Part of me wants to vomit at that thought that y'all wanted Days Gone 2. So many people wanted Days Gone 2 for so long, and it's gotta be the biggest slap in the face, to that audience that loved Days Gone, that wanted a follow-up title after the ending of the first game led to you thinking there's gonna be a follow-up title. What a slap in the face. Just absolutely crapped all over. Screw your petitions, screw your comments, screw your desires of a Days Gone 2. Maybe they'll do it now. I highly doubt it. I don't even think they'll circle back and do a Days Gone 2. And if they do a Days Gone 2, that game ain't gonna be out till like 2030, you guys. Like, it's GG no re. And I am almost laughing at this point because it's almost funny, like, you wanting Days Gone 2 so badly, and instead, for 5 years of people begging for this game, what do you get in return? A canceled live service game. And then Bluepoint Games, after people loved Demon's Souls remake, people thought it was a great remake. Bluepoint just doing excellent work. Shadow of the Colossus, Uncharted Nathan Drake collection. What were they tasked to do? A God of War live service. Yo, like, this is funny at how crazy they were in terms of chasing the bag, but this is stuff that I've been talking about in previous videos, talking about, yo, throw as much crap at the wall and just hope something sticks. And I want to make jokes about Days Gone 2. Y'all, I totally advise you, turn it around on me. This sucker, I'm talking about me, wanted a new Killzone for so long, wanted a Killzone 2 remaster, a new Killzone entry. What we get instead? We'll get Concord, because those Concord heroes, Sony just thought that's what's gonna resonate with players. Those characters are characters that they can relate to, that they can feel a bond with, that they can get attached to, and ultimately that they'll buy skins for so we can make a lot of money off of these suckers. Let's not get it twisted. That's what they ultimately wanted to happen with Concord, what they wanted to happen with that God of War live service project, what they wanted to happen with Ben's now canceled game. And these aren't the only games. There are so many more games that have been canceled, as a lot of you guys pointed out. It's not 1 in 4 like I had said. Concord is a big L. Last of Us Factions is a big L. These 2 canceled games are a big L. You had a W in Helldivers 2, but then there's been more cancellations that sometimes we just forget about those. It's really a 1 in 8. They had 12 live service games in concurrent development. Guess what? Those were resources that could have been used towards Sly Cooper, Gravity Rush, but they just didn't care. And why would they care? At this point, PlayStation is the dominant brand, and that's what I talked to you guys about, why it is so important to have competition, because this would be an opportunity for Xbox to really swing back, and you gotta feel consequences. You gotta feel some sort of level of consequence, and the biggest consequence they could feel is losing market share. Sure, in a vacuum, you're gonna lose hundreds of millions of dollars on the development of these games. Whatever. The PlayStation's gonna be fine because they're the dominant brand leader in terms of the console space. I mean, Nintendo is there, but like I've said, Nintendo kind of lives in their own island, and the Switch too is gonna do incredibly well from a sales standpoint, but in terms of direct competition, Xbox versus PlayStation, Xbox can swing back like PlayStation swung back when Xbox tried to go always online. PlayStation was able to take a risk like this live service approach so heavily because these live service games, and I talked about this before, they view it as a way to create new ecosystems of revenue generation. They've already established that PlayStation ecosystem, and they view that they're in a position where they're not really in a position to lose out on that ecosystem generating revenue for them because they don't have any competition in terms of games that are gonna draw people on over to Xbox. Hell, Xbox is now releasing their games on PlayStation 5. Clap it up, it's over. It is over at this point as far as PlayStation having direct competition, and that's the scariest part. PlayStation going unchecked, and this is true for any business. You are able to just operate unchecked, do whatever you want. That's not a good thing for the consumer in the long term. And you're feeling that for the PlayStation 5, those of you that paid $500, $700 for the PlayStation 5, this has been a fairly weak repertoire of exclusives that you've had this generation in terms of the first-party titles. And how it's negative for the consumer in this instance is all of these first-party games, they could have been put towards, we could have been living in a world where PlayStation needed to cultivate a healthy ecosystem within PlayStation 5 and make sure that people continue to be invested into that PlayStation ecosystem, and they're continuing to release the first party big exclusives, but nah, they're already established as far as the PlayStation ecosystem. Now you can do a Concord and hope that creates another ecosystem of revenue generation. Fair game, Ben's game, Blue Point's game, but ultimately live service isn't as easy as every game is going to be a Marvel Rivals, every game is going to be a Helldivers 2, every game is going to be a Fortnite. That's just not how it works, and now you're going to see PlayStation have a very weak output from their first party for years, because now you can't just snap your fingers and be like, alright, Ben Studio, go do Days Gone 2, that game ain't going to come out for 5 years. Alright, Blue Point, you can go remake Legend of Dragoon now, that ain't going to come out for 4 to 5 years, and now you're going to face the brunt of it. But unfortunately, you're not gonna get an actual check in the sense of now it's Xbox's opportunity to take some of that market share, which is a very healthy thing to happen in the console space. If you do something that is very much a misplay, you should feel the consequences of it outside of just in a vacuum losing a lot of money. Yeah, in a vacuum you lose a lot of money, but whatever, it's not gonna have actual consequence to your market share. That ecosystem of PlayStation, that core ecosystem, you're gonna still make money off selling the third-party games. You're still gonna be making money off PlayStation Plus subscriptions and so on and so forth, but just an insane story as far as live service chasing. And why it's a double whammy is that the game development cycle has gotten so much longer. It's not a case of in the late 2000s and early 2010s where it's a 2-year development cycle. No, It's a 5-year development cycle, so these games all just got canned. Now, if you want these studios to stick around and do new games, that's gonna take another 5 years, a decade in between games. So Bluepoint, if they release a game by 2028 to 2030, 8 to 10 years in between games. I get that they helped out with God of War Ragnarok as well, but you get the idea. Ben Studio, if they drop another game 2028 to 2030, Days Gone came out in 2019. I ain't giving you credit for when you revealed Days Gone Remastered. Like, I get it. You now need to make some money off of Ben Studio's work because this game got canned, but no, in 2028 when they drop, let's say, Days Gone 2, 9 years in between games. That's insanity. And 2028, I would say, is putting it, that would be very, very quick. That's a 3-year turnaround. I don't think it's going to be a 3-year turnaround, but that's absolute earliest. Absolutely horrendous. Just a misplay. Absolute misplay by PlayStation. Whoever greenlit this decision, and I understand. I've been saying it for years. I empathize with the decision making. I understand the decision making. Yeah, my girl Cat and Gravity Rush 3 ain't gonna generate as much revenue as you thought you could have projected to generate with Concord. You thought that those Concord heroes were gonna be heroes that we were gonna get emotionally invested into, and we were just gonna feel so much for them, and we're gonna buy all those skins. It ain't always gonna turn out that way, my dudes. So yeah, that's gonna do it for me. What a clown show this is, and what a clown show PlayStation has been for the last few years. Like, let's be honest here. And a lot of people are just like, you're too critical on PlayStation. Bro, this is why I'm critical on them, because I know they're capable of so much better. I lived through the end of the PS3 and the PS4 days and the PS2 days. They're capable of so much more, and chasing the live service bag, now you're seeing the consequences of it. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.